Go Canada.
Put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey man, call your mother.
It means nothing. It means nothing.
Nah, they lying to you. It's about the money.
Now you're more fluent.
Good evening, Toronto Maple Leaf fans. Welcome back to the Leafs Unfiltered post-game show. We are back after taking a couple games off, but we are excited to be back here. Myself and co-host Caroline.
Hello.
What a game
Hello.
to get it going again. Wow, was that fun, huh?
Oh,
Woo!
best 2.5 hours I'd love to have back, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, it's just one of those games you obviously throw away. Probably would have been more difficult to do that had they not been on this mini 3-game heater.
Yeah.
But in typical Leaf fashion, like we should know by now, never get too high or confident about this team because they have a tendency, probably like no other sports team in the world, I would say, and I don't think that's even an exaggeration, like that has so many highs and lows. Like that 3-game heater ending with the weekend, easy win against the Canadians,
At
top
home.
rival Detroit at home, back-to-back at home games, actually 3 in a row at home, beating the Bruins, a shutout against the Bruins. Everything was going great.
Yeah.
And then it's almost like this franchise, this organization said, nah, it's not going to be that fun, or it's not going to be that easy.
I think they just said, we can't let the fans have this much fun. That's not very Leafy. So they like to pull the carpet out from under you before the momentum starts going and going.
Yep.
And that's what we do. That's what we do here in Leafs Nation. So
It's you guys thought we could be great? No, we're going to be good. We're always going to be good for you, but we're never going to be great. You're always going to have a reason to want to put your fist through the TV. We're going to give you a little bit of that, but then
we're going to keep you on the hook. But we're not going to reel you in. We're not going to reel you in all the way.
Or even when you think that we're like giving you everything you expected and that bar that you had for us, we're about to reach it. Yeah, we're just going to pull it back a little bit. Pull it back.
Big
highs
time.
and lows of this team.
And I did say this to you in the pregame discussions, but when the Leafs are going to have a really stinker night, like a really bad night, you can kind of read it in the first few minutes of the game.
Yeah.
They don't start well and they can't pick it up as the game goes on. So
or like tonight, it was the first 35 seconds
something
in,
like
40
that.
seconds in, like unreal. Like, and we were talking about it, like if you're at that game, like just the whole day, the anticipation, Battle of Ontario, you're heading down early, grab some food and beverages, like, okay, let's go. Battle of Ontario, Leafs on a 3-game heater, another game against a division rival. Ottawa hasn't been that great lately. This is going to be a good one. And then like 40 seconds in, it's already done. The night is ruined.
It's just ruined. And
head to the bar.
And we're traveling to Washington. Like, I don't expect that. And we got Wall in tomorrow. Like, I don't have high hopes for us.
Wool hater.
Oh, I'm not there yet. I'm not quite on your level with Wool yet.
Oh.
He hasn't.
He was okay against the Habs on the weekend. No,
he played the Habs. He played the Habs pretty well. He got a good win against one of the basement teams. But
fair enough. I can't argue that
he let in a goal.
But I think if you or I would have been in net against the Canadians that Saturday night, result may have been the same. It wouldn't have mattered.
Okay.
That's fair.
Yeah.
You didn't have to do anything.
If we're talking goalies, I was somewhat surprised they put Stolarz in tonight against Ottawa, and they're putting Wool in tomorrow night. But I think that's usually the script that coaches follow, is they put your starter or de facto number one in the first game of a back-to-back. So that's what we saw. But you would kind of think they might throw Stolarz in against Washington. It's been a bit of a hotter team.
Yeah, you could have made that. You could have made the case for that for sure. But I think it's kind of to what you were calling out there. That I think it's obviously showing confidence in Anthony Stolarz, that it's his net for the time being and
Okay.
maybe for the foreseeable future. So it's kind of like keep them on the rotation. So
Okay.
Wool went on Saturday. You
Sure.
probably
Yep.
don't want to leave Stolarz out of the net, not playing for too long. So
Yep.
next possible game, you go back to him. So
Gotcha.
but,
Gotcha.
yeah.
And I'm sure we're looking ahead to Saturday. Big matchup at home against the Edmonton Oilers, the Connor McDavid full Edmonton Oilers.
Has returned to the lineup, so that will
Yes,
make
yes.
it more exciting than maybe would have thought 2 weeks ago. Quick return
Yeah.
injury.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we can try to spend a little bit of time on tonight's game. We
Yes. Take it away.
we could probably spend no more than 5 minutes talking about anything that was a positive tonight, and that might even be a reach because I don't think there really was anything. I don't know if I honestly don't think I could find one player that's like, oh, he was actually okay tonight. They were all crap. Absolute crap.
Even the fans, I thought, were kind of crap. Like, you did give them their, you shouted them out as having a tough night, but like they were so quiet in there. I really thought.
But 40 seconds in, you're already down 1-0. Like you've barely taken a sip of your beer. Like that's such a kick to the what.
I swear, I almost heard a "Go Sens Go" chant in there. Like if at any time at Scotiabank Arena you start hearing an opposing team's "Go X Go" chant, that's when you thwart it. You come in with the big "Go Leafs Go." You come in with any kind of noise, and we didn't get any of that going tonight. Tuesday's got to be a super corporate crowd, though. So, that's
I mean, it feels like that was like either truly a corporate crowd, or that's like if you're a season ticket holder, that's like giveaway night, like Tuesday night. Like I get it, it's Ottawa, but
Monday's the giveaway, don't you think? Monday's a better giveaway?
like anything beginning of the week for sure. You're more likely to be like, hey, do you want to take these tickets? I don't really want to go, and I can't sell them. So if you want to go, I'm sending them over to your Ticketmaster account right now.
Yeah, no, that's just totally fair.
Yeah, like obviously a bad crowd, but like I know it's very easy to knock the Leaf crowd. It's a library in there. But like any barn, any football stadium, baseball stadium, like you have your team down that early and looking that terrible. Like, I don't know. Like, obviously you'd want a little bit more. I hear you there, but that's a tough sell to any crowd, no matter how much excitement you had coming in. Like, not even 1 minute into the game, you're already losing.
That's such a gut punch. I agree.
Yeah.
I turned it on a little late. Like I turned it on 3 minutes into the game and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. How is this happening again? Like we're back to where we were like before the 3-game heater, where it's like, oh, I don't know about this team. And it's really, it's not just a thing, a narrative that Leaf fans come up with.
No, it's a reality we live.
Yeah. It's like the ups and downs are crazy, man. It's unbelievable how this team can get you so hyped about this team and what they could do. Yeah. And then like, look, I'm not at maybe that level where probably Leafs Twitter might be right now. We're like, oh, you see, this is the true team. Like they're not any better with Berube. Like this team isn't improved. This is the same team. I'm not there because I put more value into what they did in those 3 games prior than what tonight meant. Like every team has shitty games. Every team, whether you're the Florida Panthers, the New York Rangers, you are not going to be a high quality, high octane, high performance team every game for 82. So I'll take the week that they've had, basically this game and the previous 3, and say, I think we saw way more positives than the negative.
Well, I'm going to play slight devil's advocate there because if you look at the past, like you got teams like, this is not my argument, but Winnipeg Jets just went 15-16 tonight. Like they put the hammer to the New York Rangers 6-2. They are a team that should be feared, right? And I think when you can have this consistent high performance against any opponent, whether they're strong, whether they're bad, that's something to be very admirable. That's very admirable and very much to be feared. if we look at the past Stanley Cup champions, they're usually like up there in the number 1, number 2 slot in their division. Florida Panthers, Golden Knights. I don't know with the Leafs' propensity to be so streaky, so inconsistent. Like, you need to bring it every single night, no matter how you're feeling, no matter your opponent. And the playoffs are really short. The series, playoff series, doesn't give you a lot of wiggle
especially
room
in Toronto.
to.
Yeah, especially in Toronto. I
Well,
hear some
even
teams
still-
have a longer playoff, but yeah.
But even just the series in itself, like you lose a game, you are feeling it. You're feeling the burn. You're feeling the pinch. And like, I don't like the way that we can be so high and so low. That does not, to me, scream championship team. I think if we were to
that's
look,
completely valid.
thank you. Okay, I've said my piece.
No,
I don't.
I mean, that may have been a hot take, or you may have thought it was a hot take, but I totally agree.
No, I think it's my normal take is that people put Leafs in the Stanley Cup conversation. I'm like, we can't beat the Sens on a Tuesday night. We can't beat the Habs on opening night. Like, these are big games. There's obviously been other indiscretions. Columbus Blue Jackets, we got crushed by. Like, those are like mental blips that we're going to have in the playoffs. And we don't have a lot of time in a playoff series to have that lapse. So I don't like the way that we slip.
Yeah, no, I think I generally agree with that. I think you can kind of, and again, I guess all now counter with a devil's advocate kind of perspective.
Yeah,
I'm just mad. Do we feel that we should put more into losing against teams like Ottawa, Montreal, and Columbus?
Good
or
question.
Do we say, well, as you brought up, the Winnipeg Jets, they've only lost one game, and that's been to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Great question. Toronto Maple Leafs. And then we shut out the Boston Bruins, which may not be the same accomplishment this year that's been in past years. But we also beat Tampa Bay, played the New York Rangers very well. We've beat New Jersey. So the team has put together some big wins, and not really any different from previous years. This team has always seemed to rise to the occasion and beat those good teams. And I guess sort of reiterating our earlier conversation about the highs and lows of this team, how they get fans so jacked up about what the potential of this team is, because you keep going back to it. Well, Winnipeg Jets are the consensus best team in the NHL. We beat them. The Boston Bruins are the team that we keep losing to in the playoffs. We beat them. Like, you kind of have to balance the two, I guess. So would I like to see us steamroll Ottawa, Columbus, and Montreal every time we play them? Yeah, but it's also not what other teams are doing. And yes, to your point, like the top tier Stanley Cup contenders, like the Florida, like the Rangers, Vegas in past years, they're probably a little bit more consistent, but over 82 games, it's not like they're, winning all the time against those bottom feeder teams. They're definitely having those games where they're not bringing that A game and they don't pick up any points. So,
then let me kind of pick apart what you just said. So you said that, sure, we can beat these high performing, the best teams in the league, let's call them. Then let's diagnose why we're losing to the bottomest feeding teams. Like,
I've got an answer if you don't.
No, I don't. If we're able to, and we have the ability, skill level, compete level to beat the Winnipeg Jets, to beat the Tampa Bay Lightning, then what happens on the games like tonight?
To me, it honestly feels like, this team, even though it's been built better in the last 2 years with the blue line upgrades and what have you, the goaltending, this team is always still going to, in terms of what they're going to do and accomplish, is always going to be predicated on what the core does. And I know obviously Matthews wasn't in the lineup, but I always kind of find when this team is at its worst, you can't find anything good from guys like Marner, Nylander, and Riley. Like, I would argue those three guys, I'd add Domi to that too. Those 3 plus Domi were probably the worst players on the ice.
Oh,
and
totally.
like the last 3 games,
I didn't see them.
No. And if you did, it was because someone just took the puck off them, or they had a very ill-advised pass attempt that just got turned the other way. Like, I think Nylander got yelled at by Berube
He did.
no
He did.
fewer than 3 times, like just reamed out.
Yeah.
And this is where it's like we talk about the highs and lows. The highs and lows of our core are like the biggest pendulum swing from like any core group. And I'm not saying like McDavid, McKinnon, Draisaitl, the McCarrs, like they're always kind of 110% and they're always the best player on the ice. But probably, not that I watch all their games, but they're probably giving you something more often than our core guys. And it just almost feels like Nylander, Marner, Riley, even I always kind of defend Austin Matthews before the other guys in the core, but he has it too, that tendency, and Tavares as well. When things are going bad, those guys, I don't know if it just kind of their give a shit meter isn't as high as it needs to be, or they just kind of get frustrated and they don't put in the extra effort like maybe some other players would be. Yeah, I guess it sounds like I'm questioning their competitiveness, and maybe I am a little bit.
I think you're questioning their maturity, or sort of like. But I would argue that when the boys are firing, then they're all firing. They're all firing. I don't think any one of them can pull them out of that flat lining game.
Right.
Which is where our leadership really should, which is where a guy like Matthews, he's been given the C. He should be able to. He didn't play tonight, but I think that's a reason for giving your best player the C, is because he can be like, come on, boys, lead by example, go do something on the ice.
Yeah.
Whereas maybe last game, when we had Tavares as our captain, he wouldn't have been capable of that. But with the core like you just described, where they really seem to play to the level of the team. They love to be the man in games when we're playing well. But in games when things aren't going well,
they love the cookies.
They do love their cookies. They love getting on the score sheets. But like, what was with Nylander tonight? Like, what he had 2 nights off. He had Sunday night off. He had Monday night off. He's been in Toronto the whole time. Buddy, go to one, have a nice little walk with your dogs, go up to Ramsden Park, chill out. Like, it's almost like he's been partying in Toronto the last 2 or 3 nights,
Yeah, it totally felt like they were, they just kind of came off a couple late nights. Who knows? Let's not kind of question their extracurriculars. But I mean, like tonight,
that's a dream schedule. He's been living the dream schedule. Any team would prefer that to travel back to back to back. They've been at home since last Tuesday, right? We played Boston Tuesday. Right. Then we played back to back Friday, Saturday. He's been at home for 8 days.
Over a week.
That's heaven in a Maple Leaf in the NHL calendar, basically.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You look at the tonight, Mitch Marner, 2 giveaways. Nylander, 3 giveaways. Yeah. And I don't know if you follow it. Like, this is just kind of me being a stat geek here. But whoever is charting or keeping track of giveaways, I don't know if they're actually watching the entire game, or they're kind of charting it for a few minutes here and then they go do something else, go grab a drink and then come back, because they always seem to miss some. There be a game where it feels like Marner and Nylander or Riley are tossing pizzas up the ice all game. And it's I think they've given away the puck 5 times each. And then you see the giveaway stat, and it's they each gave it away only once, apparently. So I don't put too much faith into it. But even tonight, we've got Marner charted with 2 giveaways, Nylander 3, Riley 3. That might not seem like a lot, but I think they have quite the criteria to say giveaway, which pretty much means you're almost having the puck and you literally give it to the other player, the opposition.
Yeah, and consider that Quinn Hughes, who is the best defenseman in the league, his average puck possession time per game is 3 minutes and 24 seconds. So let's call Riley's puck possession time, 2 minutes, 2:30 minutes. If he's giving that away 3 times in 2 minutes and 30 seconds, that's
not good.
That's not good.
That's not good. Yeah, because I just think that like these guys, because like, yeah, when you're down, like when you're trailing 1-0 a minute in, like you can't exactly expect, and Berube wouldn't, like, okay, I'm going to put Camp or Holmberg out there and we're going to get right back into this game.
Oh, he
No.
loves the fourth line. He
Yeah.
friggin' loves that fourth line.
Yeah. But like to get back into the game, you need like Marner or Nylander, Tavares, Riley to have that shift where it's like, okay, hop on my back, guys. We've got this. And they don't do that. And maybe it's because of the way they play. And maybe it's about kind of appreciating what they do well and maybe what they don't. But I think when they're trailing in a game, this is where I've had an issue with these core guys where it's like there isn't any extra gear. Like obviously we see when things are going well, they are the best players on the ice, especially when they're playing a weaker opposition like the Canadians. Yeah. But even like a weaker opposition tonight, but falling behind and things not coming easy to them. Yeah. It's kind of like they had a couple power plays where it's like they're just going to settle for that perimeter shot again. Like there was a Nylander where there was no one near, like between him and the goaltender, and he just chooses to take like a shot right at Allmark's crest. And it's like, really? Is that what you think is going to let you come back into the game? But like it's obviously a pattern.
He wanted a shift change. He was getting tired.
He was tired. I get it. He had to fuel up.
I don't think we can ever expect what you're wanting from Nylander. I think guys like Matthews, guys like Marner, and certainly Tavares, though he might not have the same ability as the other guys, he should have the pipes and the leader in the room.
Like the drive. Give a you know what, Like,
but Nylander, no, he's not that guy.
No. Well, I mean, he has to start to be at 11.5 sheets a year. Like, and I get it. People will say, well, if he gets 100 points a year, we're fine with that. No, you can't be. You can't be anymore. 11.5 mil.
I don't think we're going to turn him. We haven't turned him to a center. We haven't been able to turn him into like a proper assistant captain. He's not even an assistant captain. Like,
no, and you won't.
Like, guy.
Agreed. And I'm not suggesting that might still be there for him. Like, I kind of recognize that, he is what he is. And I guess that's why I hated the idea of paying him what they did. But in terms of that expectation, you kind of need him to have more games where he's the best player on the ice. And don't get me wrong, and probably, I don't know, at least half of the Leaf games this year, he probably has been the Leafs best
big
forward.
time.
So, you take the bad with the good, I suppose. Yeah. But I just don't think there's enough in the other games where you can be like, oh, okay, he just didn't want to play tonight. Cool. Hopefully you feel better.
I wish I could go to work and
Millie.
be like, not today. Thanks.
Sorry, guys.
I'm going to take, honestly, it's just not happening today. I'm going to just hit, ignore meeting. No, you can't. You got to go over your shifts. You got to play.
And the bar is raised at 11.5 is kind of what I'm saying there. Like, I know we're not getting more from him, but
he's a director or VP, to be honest. He can't just snooze.
No. He can't just say, this ain't my game. I'm not feeling it tonight. So can maybe Connor Dewar or Pontus Holmberg, can you guys take over? I'm actually usually leading this big finance meeting, guys, but I'm just going to kick back. Holmberg, you want to take over?
I'm just going to take notes. Would you mind just jumping in there, Dewar? Myers, you available? Like,
I know you have. I know you have no knowledge or expertise in this subject, but I'm just not feeling it today. Yeah, it's a tough one.
I'm also gonna go out to a long lunch and then just not come back.
It kind of felt like he was on like a he overextended his 30-minute lunch break. Anyway,
that seems like a decent segue. Why don't we talk about our new faces that we saw tonight? I don't know if there's anything to say.
Yeah, probably not much. I mean, Dewar, I think, like, he showed a little bit. Like, he was kind of hitting a little bit, but yeah, I can't say he's ever going to be a guy that moves the needle, but I don't mind him at all. He didn't play a lot, so hard to really get a full kind of read on what he might be.
Yeah. I agree. I thought, I saw that when he was practicing, he was put on line 2 and they maintained line 3 with like our normal McMahon, Domi. I think it was like that. And
I think from like period 2 on, it was like full line blender mode. I think the fourth line was the only one that kind of like played somewhat consistently together, but that Nyes, Domi, Marner line were just getting eaten alive in the first period. So they got broken up quickly. They even tried a Marner, Nylander, JT for a little bit. Like it was all over the map.
I missed that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
no, I wouldn't say you missed it. You didn't miss it.
That was probably
you didn't catch it, but you didn't miss anything. Yeah.
Well said.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's we do feel very injured right now. Like we're not super injured. We're missing Matthews, we're missing Pacioretty,
Yarncroke.
Well, yeah.
Again, not
that
really
guy,
missing him.
Like,
yeah.
I feel like he's just become a bit of a, an afterthought. Like it used to be.
Apparently, he's gone to New York to get like a specialist. This might be a Robida situation.
This very well could be a Robida. Very good call.
Like, I don't think there's even anyone in Calle Yarncroke's family who knows what's wrong with him. Like,
what?
He didn't play. Well,
where do you come out of nowhere with that?
No,
Have
I'm
you been
just saying,
speaking to Mrs. Yarncroke?
Yeah, I don't even know if he's married, but yeah, sure. That's
he's a good Swedish boy. He's probably married.
Oh yeah, is that what they say about Swedish boys? They're good family men.
He seems more like a family man than Mr. Nylander.
Valid. But no, like going back to the preseason, like Yarncroke, he got hurt. I think he missed a game or two, like exhibition games, came back in. Then he wasn't, they didn't see him at practice, but no one speculated. And he hasn't been in a practice since then. So how did he get hurt?
How did he get hurt? So hurt.
Yeah.
And
that
then
he's flying to New York to get checked out.
Yeah. Also, Robida. I love the way they describe it. It's very Robida. The way they describe it, like they missed something in the diagnosis. Like, really? Like, I would think that the Toronto Leafs doctors, like, they're probably all over the scans. Yeah. They're checking the scans closely. They've got all the machines here in Toronto.
Yeah.
Like, if he's off to New
I don't
York,
think there's too many doctors in professional sports that are like, shit, dude, you got to check this guy out. I got no idea what's going on here. I've never seen this before. Like, is his arm supposed to be like that? I got no idea. I'm sending him your way.
that is a break. It looks like it's a break. Like either it's a break, a fracture, a sprain. Like, if it was a blood clot, they love to talk about blood clots. Like if there's any sign of a blood clot, sorry, that's a little dark, but that's like,
I
don't know what they could have missed. We should get my stepdad a doctor on the pod sometimes.
Just to see if he can, from afar, kind of assess what Yarncroke's got going on.
What did they call it initially? Was it an LBI, a lower body injury?
I think he's the LBI. Yeah, obviously we got the UBI for Austin Matthews. No one knows what the hell part of his upper body is hurt, but yeah, it's an upper body.
Apparently it's not shoulder, which is good because remember earlier in his career, people were very worried about the shoulder.
And then he had some like wrist injuries in the past. So is that what it is? Yeah.
I think
nobody knows.
Anywhere in between. It's between the wrist and the shoulder.
Oh, good call. Good call.
Yeah, it's a CBI, a chest BI. Chest
/ upper body, upper arm, maybe mid arm, maybe lower arm. Yeah, it's a pretty good diagnosis. I think we nailed it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think you listen to enough Leafs, you can basically, you're very good at talking about nothing, like when it comes to Leafs injuries, you can sort of keep that script going.
Yeah.
You get hear words and you say things. Just anything that comes to mind that sounds like it will be passable as an excuse.
Well, and
And
yeah,
then
it's like
people are like,
unbelievable.
okay.
Like I get it. I'm obviously not a professional athlete. But the way they have these like kind of like, I don't know, twists and turns with their recovery. Like Austin Matthews was on the ice, I think on Thursday. Obviously didn't play Friday, Saturday. But then they say, oh, get right off the ice. Like you've taken a turn for the worse. Like that to me sounds like something pretty bad. Like I would have thought it would have been a natural progression to getting back to playing, not like, yeah, he's going to miss tonight, but then he's back on the ice. Kind of, I don't know if he was participating in practice. It might have just been a skate, but he was back on the ice. But then something happened with him just doing laps around the ice by himself. And then he couldn't get back on the ice after that. Like,
interesting. Wait, when was this that he wasn't allowed back on the ice?
Well, I think his last time on the ice, I want to say, was like Wednesday or Thursday. And then obviously, Thursday, actually.
Oh, God. I thought he was going to be back for Saturday.
After that.
So he's not back for Saturday versus the Oilers.
Oh, they haven't ruled him out, but I'm talking about like last week on Thursday, he was on the ice. They said like, yeah, probably not for tomorrow, that being last Friday's game, maybe for Saturday against Montreal. Clearly didn't happen. But since that skate on Thursday, he hadn't been back on the ice. So did he take a turn for the worse, or should they not have allowed him on the ice on Thursday? You know?
Like, I just picture the doctor in like a white lab coat running down and be like, get him off. Like, get him off. It's like, what?
Well, probably that doctor was like, yeah, sorry, who let Austin Matthews on the ice? I was checking on Yarncroke here, and I have no idea what's going on there. But you weren't supposed to let Matthews on the ice.
I guess.
Crazy.
Yeah, crazy. Well, we're missing those guys right now. We're missing Pacioretty. We're missing Matthews. Definitely the way the lines are rolling tonight. Looked like we could have used a little bit more depth.
That Max Pacioretty injury is a tough one. That's a tough blow.
I remember
for the team and him personally. Terrible.
Yeah. Also happening against the Canadians. That's like a bit of a bad red herring.
That ain't good.
Yeah, like the first time he kind of went down awkwardly. I remember seeing it because I had him. I bet on him for anytime goal scorer, and I saw him go down. I was like, shh. And he went down, got back up, started playing. Had the other thing happen. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think he's week to week right now, but
yeah, that's what it sounds like. Well, and it was kind of like strange because like obviously he needed help, or he was kind of like laboring getting off the ice.
Yep.
Yeah, but then he immediately went back to the bench and like sat down, and then it kind of felt like maybe he'd be okay. But I guess you were just like, I need help to get to the locker room, so I'm just gonna wait here. And then obviously, I think Ryan Reeves and Tavares helped him off. So guys terrible his luck.
It is terrible, and he needs that 35 goal games to get to that next salary bonus. Yeah. So he unlocks a new layer of salary. So.
Yeah, because he had the 10-game minimum that did he already hit, or he was probably close to that?
He'd be very close. He may have just hit it.
Yeah. So that's just like I don't want to say a huge blow, but just a team that doesn't have a lot of forward depth, and then you try and pretend that Bobby McMahon or Leafs Twitter favorite toy Nicholas Robertson. Oh yeah, great opportunity for these guys now. Yeah.
He got the belt. We never talked about that. He did get the belt against Detroit.
Yeah, he got the belt for playing his 100th game that night. Not for anything.
Also having
he
a
did
goal
on the
taken
ice.
back. He had a goal taken back. You got to feel for the guy. He needs those stats.
The key is taken back. I don't think you should get a belt for goals not counting.
I don't either. I don't think you should get a. No, it's a sham.
Award is a sham.
Yeah,
You've ruined the whole thing now.
You shouldn't get a belt for hustling, okay? The guy spins his wheels. He tries so hard.
But it's not an effort belt.
It's not an effort belt. It's
a performance production belt. Yeah. Yeah. Bad news what's going on in the locker room if you're just like throwing belts to whoever.
No, it's very performative. But you know what's not performative is keeping Austin out of the lineup all these times. His shots at the Rocket Richard, anything he had going, probably not going to go for him this year. Even like any Selke, Lady Bing, no way. He's not going to get it. He's not going to have the numbers.
Well, I mean, yeah, if he doesn't get back into lineup, like, I mean, I doubt he's playing tomorrow. You don't probably, if he's not ready to go for this game, what are you going to say? Like, we're going to travel with him now to
Definitely
Washington
not.
and he'll be ready
No,
to go?
no. But
No.
I think they push him. I think they
Edmonton,
don't
maybe.
push him. Edmonton, like, come on, this is a huge game.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is a
That
what
may
do they
have
call
been
it?
the plan
Maybe,
to bring him
yeah.
back for Edmonton, rest
What
him
do they
up.
call it? Like a benchmark game, a measuring stick game.
Measuring
Love
stick
that.
game,
It's
yeah.
a measuring stick game for us on
Yeah.
Saturday night.
And the Leafs have always played Edmonton well. Like last year, they had that big win on home ice against them. I think they in Edmonton. I think it was a 1-1 record we had with them last year. I think each team won on home ice, if I recall.
Yeah, I think you're
correctly.
right. I think we lost in Edmonton. I think we played.
But like even that game in Edmonton, I think it
randomly.
was like a well played game, competitive game. So
Okay.
again, it's more of those where this Leaf team has always been. Don't ever count them out. Don't ever bet against them when everything and everybody tells you to, because probably Saturday night will be a huge bounce back effort, and they're probably going to win.
Okay, so just
I'm jumping
reading
ahead
the
a little bit because
room-
we still have tomorrow, but yeah.
No, yeah, exactly. So I'm going back, like knowing what
Uh-huh.
happened tonight, knowing the Leafs. What is your prediction for tomorrow night? Do we come out strong or are we flat? Even flatter, I think there's three options there.
It's tough because that's a good team that we're playing tomorrow. Like
And
the
it's a
Washington
good
Capitals have
question
been
because
really,
the Leafs,
really good.
Yes, sorry. Just
The Caps didn't play tonight, I don't believe. I'm just checking quickly. So they will be
I don't know.
well rested, I believe. Capitals did not play. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to kind of just buck the obvious predictability of, oh, the Leafs are toast because they look trash tonight.
No,
But
that's the
I have a
opposite.
feel-
That's really, and I know.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a competitive game. I'm guaranteeing at least 1 point. I don't know
Cool.
if that's really bold
Okay.
or not, but I think they get one. I could see them getting the two maybe tomorrow. And a statement game for your favorite Joseph Brickwool.
It is going to be a statement game. I predict at least one OV goal against Joseph Brickwool.
Yeah, he always seems like, especially like power play for Washington, you could almost just put it on the board of OV goal. Done.
Yeah.
Because they're inevitably going to be like, oh man, we left Ovechkin open. Oh, we had everyone else covered, but
Top
that
of the
number
slot,
8.
it's just right there. He's always just right there.
Yeah, he hasn't moved at all on this power play, but we lost track of him somehow. We lost track of him. And there's a one-timer, clapper, top shelf. Oh, man, there's egg on my face. I can't believe I forgot to cover Ovi.
I think tomorrow night's one of those games I'm not going to touch betting-wise.
Betting?
Like, at least money line, not going to touch it. I think, I actually over-under, don't like either. Don't immediately like either.
It's a stay away for you, eh?
Like, yeah, I think I would
no
take.
play.
I'll wake up tomorrow and make a decision, but like, I don't feel good about the Leafs winning after tonight's performance, but I also don't feel good about the Leafs losing because I know how they love to ride the roller coaster,
Okay, I accept everything you mentioned there, but I'm going to have to go in the opposite direction, and I'm saying you need to be betting on the Maple Leafs tomorrow because I'm looking at the odds here.
What is it?
And you got the Washington Capitals, obviously the home team. They're hot right now. They're only minus 120 money line.
Wow.
That to me
like that, actually
seems like Vegas says, yeah, you know what? We don't really believe that much in Washington winning this game. Because I think Washington should be probably closer to like a minus 140, maybe. That to me feels like the Leafs might be a barking, I repeat, a barking road dog.
And I think they're going to get the barking from Berube between now and tomorrow.
Nice one. Well played, Caroline. Well played.
Thank you. And I think putting money on Mitchie or Nylander to score could be a move.
Yeah, because we spend like 10 minutes trashing them. So they obviously have to figure it out tomorrow. Yeah, it makes sense. The anytime goal feels pretty much a lock.
Yeah, for one of those guys.
Yeah.
And Yeah, maybe for Ovechkin too. I think he I don't know. He seems to be a Leafs killer. I feel like any guy on another team, any big dude on a guy on the other team is like a Leafs killer. So
Pretty much. Oh, might not be a bad thing to do a Rasmus Sandin anytime goal. Just
for
saying.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that
Just
too.
saying. Like, I don't know how many, I don't even know if I'm sure he's got at least one, but I'm not, let me just check his
Just
numbers.
one? Just one?
Dylan
Dylan Strome assist could be pretty
He's got
good.
he's got 2 goals, 7 points in 14 games. Yeah, it feels like it's almost like certainty that he scores a goal. Yeah.
Okay, I'll throw 5 around that. That sounds fine.
Yeah, it's probably going to be pretty good value anytime for a defenseman who's got 2 goals on the year. It's probably worth throwing some pocket change on.
Former Leaf. Best bet.
Yeah.
Best bet you can make.
It's always a lock. Always a lock.
So I'm just looking at these comments here. We got some interesting questions. One thing that I didn't notice, so Pontus Holmberg almost got his neck sliced tonight. Did you see that?
I did.
Mm.
Yeah.
We don't need more forward injuries, not to be insensitive, but thank God he didn't.
Yeah.
For our depth.
Close call.
When was that?
Was it period 2? I can't recall. I just remember seeing it and they were talking about it for a bit. Yeah. Not a good or an almost not good scene for sure.
Yeah.
Ever bet on Marner to score on parlays?
Funny.
Been going a real.
Never bet on Marner in general unless Matthews is out. When Matthews is out,
the
bet on
Marner assist is always obviously a good play.
Nice,
and especially with the power play coming along a little bit, at least before tonight's game.
Yep.
Always a good bet. Not that the odds are very good for
Marner
assist, but
Marner point
a parlay
plus,
maybe.
Yep, throw it in there. Sometimes he's usually good on Austin's points, Austin goals. Then we got
won't have that ability tomorrow.
Some Leafs
Austin Matthews goals.
That's true. Then we got some Leafs haters in here. Gabriel thinking big loss tomorrow. Leafs suck. I feel like you can't say Leafs suck. Like
no, he isn't a hater. Apparently, he's actually a Leaf fan. He's actually a Leaf fan. Yeah,
I know. I'm sure. Domi is a huge problem. Oh my God, that guy had a goal served to him on a silver platter, and couldn't bank it.
He can't score. I'm
convinced buy a goal.
You could give him an open net and probably a 50% chance he's going to miss the net somehow, or her find a way to pass it, just like Mitch Marner does when they have an open net.
No,
you can't play those 2 guys on the same line.
No, it's so bad.
2 guys who have no desire to shoot a puck.
I don't know about that. Domi likes to pad. He likes to.
He doesn't like to shoot.
No, that's fair. He doesn't shoot. I never bet on him to be a goal to get shots, but he comes to life in April,
Yeah.
But he's been pretty unproductive so far this season.
He's been bad since like game 3 or 4. Like he's done nothing. He's done nothing. Like his defensive game has been a little bit better. So you can kind of like say, well, at least he's not a liability defensively, but it's not why you paid him the money. I don't care if he's now a good 2-way forward. He needs to put up 40, 50, even 60 points if he's getting top 2 line minutes. And I know he hasn't the whole year, but last couple games without Matthews, he has.
Yeah, I literally think Berube, once the team's healthy, he gets all the forwards back that he wants to see in the lineup. We throw them in a blender. We put them in a big KitchenAid and sort of play with things, because if the writing's not on the wall that Matthews and Marner played better apart, I don't know how better that could be communicated to a team.
Yeah. Like aside from tonight, Mitch Marner was unbelievable the previous games. Like he was trying to, create offense for himself. Whereas when he's playing with Austin Matthews, he's like, oh, hey, Austin's right behind me. I might as well just like give him the puck. Yeah. He looks like he wants it. Like, so I might as well just hand it to him and then just kind of float around the offensive zone. Like he's not involved enough when he's playing with Austin Matthews, but again, aside from tonight, like those previous 3 games, he was very involved and you could argue
And
the
he
best
was
player on the ice.
Oh, big times. And so fired up. Like the crowd loved him, team loved him. He
Yep.
loves to be the man. Willie loves to be that 2-goal man too. Like just when they're the stars. And maybe like it's funny that we have so much more success sometimes when Matthews is out of the lineup, especially our power play.
Crazy. It's
Like
crazy.
it is. It's very Leafy, very weird.
Right. It was unbelievable, like how much talk on like Leafs Twitter after obviously those 2 back-to-back wins over the weekend. Like Leafs Twitter, like people, I guess, coming out from under the rock, being like, "See, you got to get Mitch Marner signed. You got to. He's the best
my God,
Leaf.
that
He's
was
the
crazy.
best Leaf. Pay him." And then all the kind of like Austin Matthews, he shouldn't be the captain. Look what happens when he's not there. He's not our best player. Like it's unbelievable. And then it's like, okay, guys, like maybe let's kind of hold up there a little bit. Let's kind of like reel it in a little bit. I think we still need Austin Matthews. And then I'm not saying Matthews playing tonight would have made a difference. It felt like you could have had 5 Matthews tonight and you wouldn't have won the game. But the idea that, okay, like we can just kind of ride Mitch Marner to a cup. He's the man. He's the guy. Pay him.
That's
like, are you guys kidding me? We've seen this every year for 8 years now. We know Mitch Marner can put up points against Montreal and Detroit. Not exciting to me anymore. He is a great player. We know this. It doesn't mean pay him.
I told you this. So I went to the game on Friday night and I ran into Mitch Marner in the elevator lobby. Okay. So I come across this little meet and greet and there's this smaller man. Like he is small.
Wait, hold on. We got to back it up a little bit. So you just came across this meet and greet. Were you kind of seeking this out, or you just kind of like in a drunken stupor, just kind of stumbled across where the Maple Leafs are going?
I may have had some beers, but that has nothing to do with the story.
It had nothing to do with it. Got it.
But I was coming out of like, some 100 level seats. We grabbed a drink in the Platinum Lounge bar. And
fancy.
Our plan was to go up to the Chill Lounge, which I don't know if you've seen this Chill Lounge, but it's like
heard of it, haven't seen. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's the coolest place.
Really?
There's live music, picnic style tent, like picnic style tables. So it's like communal seating. There's a bar. There's TVs all over.
Ooh.
It's like
is that like beside Drake's Club or no?
I don't know where Drake's Club is.
Oh, okay.
But it like looks over, the concourse and. It's very cool.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it's just above 200 level and below 400 level.
Hot Stove Lounge? Is it beside there? Hot Stove, or you don't even?
I don't know. I'm usually on 100 level. Okay.
You probably walked by Hot Stove Lounge and Drake's Club and had no idea.
Probably.
Yeah.
But like the feeling in this
the
place.
Alcohol had nothing to do with it, right?
Well, I was just getting spun around and no, it was super cool. Like everyone was chatting with each other. Like you're walking around, there's TVs on. So they played, they're playing like out of market games and there's a live band. Highly recommend if you're at a game, seek out the Chill Lounge in intermissions. Definitely. If you want to spend some time of the period in there, go ahead. But anyway, so it was the end of the game and we'd heard that there was still live music happening up at the Chill Lounge. So we exited the seats, the seats to the Platinum Lounge, grabbed a drink, and then we're walking towards the elevator stairs to go up to the Chill Lounge. And there's this like meet and greet happening.
Yeah.
And coming through the door, I noticed this guy that I really recognized. He was wearing a toque. I could tell he was a Leaf. And I was so, I had a few beers and I went right up to him. He's leaving. Nobody's really talking to him. He's getting out.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, you're Holmberg. You're Pontus Holmberg. And he goes, no, I'm not. Try again. Because he could tell that I I recognized him, but
embarrassing.
Man. So embarrassing. And then I thought for 5 more seconds and I was like, you are Steven Lorentz. And he goes, yeah, I'm Steven Lorentz.
Oh my God.
No, it was so embarrassing. It was so embarrassing. I don't want to hear it. Okay. I felt bad. Anyway, he took it pretty well, honestly. Like,
Pretty
he was
good.
like,
It's pretty good.
good job, you got it. And then my friend and I asked
Oh,
for a
so he was
photo.
patronizing you. Yeah.
Well, yeah, he was kind of goading me on
Okay.
to be like, who am I? Who am I? Because he
Okay.
could
Okay.
tell. But
Yeah.
to my credit, nobody else in this whole meet and greet seemed to notice him as a Leaf.
Or cared that there was a Leaf player, but yeah.
No, people cared. It was like it seemed like some kind of official event, although it wasn't in any kind of area. It was literally in an elevator lobby. I saw
Well, and what?
Connor
Like he was
Timmins.
going to the event, or was he like on his
I
way to the
think he was
parking
on his
garage?
way out, but I think he
Okay.
kind of did his dues. He did his like 5-minute appearance, and then he was leaving
Okay.
to the parking garage.
Yeah.
Because nobody was really giving him the time of day. Like there was a huge
Mm.
crowd around Connor Timmins.
Probably because they all thought he was Holmberg.
Connor Timmins. Connor Timmins looks like Stellars, really.
A little
But
bit. Yep.
sort
Yep.
of.
Yeah.
He has 2 different color eyes, Connor Timmins.
No,
Check,
I didn't
literally
notice that.
Google his
I haven't
headshot.
looked closely enough at his eyes, but I
Neither
will look
have
next time.
I. But I recommend you Google a headshot of him, and you're gonna be like, "Oh my god! Like, there's something wrong
Really?
with one of these eyes." Yeah, one of them
I didn't
is
even know that was even possible. Is he just wearing like one colored contact
no,
lens, or is
no,
that a genetic thing?
no. It's a genetic thing, and you can tell
Ah,
that
okay.
he looks like he should have the blue-green eye, and then the
Yeah.
brown eye is actually looks like there's a problem there. Something. Anyway, I
Wow.
shouldn't say
Well, I
these things.
guess I don't know if there was one eye more than the other that was affecting his play tonight because he was also trash.
He was just
Maybe.
looking through that brown eye. Bit of a
Yeah.
problem. Anyway,
Yeah.
so we're walking through, and there is this little man. He looks like, like a Toronto man and a toque, but nothing
Toronto
special
man.
about him.
Yeah.
But everyone's crowding around. And it's Mitch Marner. And I go right up to him because I'd had some beers and I had his jersey on. So
And you say Pontus Holmberg?
I said,
Or-
"Are you Austin Matthews?" He loved
Oh,
that,
man.
and he let me take
Yeah.
a photo with him. I'm just
Oh, wow.
joking.
Yeah, I saw the selfie you had with him.
Yeah.
He like you could tell that you had a few already, but it also looked like he may have had a couple.
I agree. He is.
Yeah.
He looks a
Well,
little
because
wild.
more you, because I don't know if you were trying to center the picture or you were just trying to get the side of your head and I think maybe a quarter of his head.
I literally
It was
took
not
the
the
photo.
best selfie, Caroline.
I think there was like 10, maybe 4 seconds between when I took the photo and when it was in my story.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what happened there.
Post.
Yeah, it was
I'm not
just,
even looking. No
I was-
edit.
it's
No.
like missiles.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, he was actually quite nice, to be perfectly honest.
Or did you ask him about the extension talks?
No, I didn't
Because he
think
usually
that
likes
was
to talk about
I
that.
didn't think that was the right time.
Can you
But I
imagine if
did
like
tell
a
him
fan brought it up? I'd love to hear his answer.
But I did tell him that he was boosted as anytime goal scorer on BetMGM, and I bet on him that
Really?
night. He was, yeah. It was 2
Yeah?
points. I know you don't speak decimal odds, but it was
I'm
2.7
learning.
from 2.3, and I think I
Yeah.
put $10 down, so I won, $27 on it. But just the
Oh.
fact that he also got a goal, he got the goal. He was, Mr. Star, and then I saw him. It was just like it was a very poetic night for me and Mitch.
Wait, sir. How did he respond to that when you told him about the bet? Was he like, "Oh, that's
said,
cool," or
No, typical hockey player, like, "Oh, cool, yeah, okay, yeah."
really?
like,
What a
just-
loser! He should have said, "Are you kidding me? You only bet $10 on that? I was free money tonight. Oh, that's
I
cool.
asked him
That's
about.
cool.
To be honest, then the last thing I asked him was, I said, Muskoka, this company, my mom's company in Muskoka. Do you know it? And he goes, "Yeah, I love that company." So he does know my mom's
Ooh.
company, and I knew he knew
Wow.
it. Like, yeah, I knew he would have known it, but it was
So
cool.
did
And I was
you-
like, "Oh,
did
that's
you
my
get him-
mom."
Did he get
What?
him to give you a little autograph on the jersey or no? Or you thought that was too fangirl?
I literally didn't even think about that, but I didn't have a Sharpie. It's okay.
Yeah, it's not really something that people tend to carry around, so that's understandable. Fair enough. Well, I
Now
mean, you
that
focus on the key things that any Leaf fan would. The Muskoka connection, and you told him about your bet that cashed.
Yeah. I don't actually. I think I said I won money, but mostly I wanted to be like, you were boosted tonight. You were boosted tonight. I thought he was so good about that. Okay, but now that we've probably alienated all of our viewers, I have a segment, Josh, that I wanted to bring to you tonight.
Ooh.
It's
and for the audience, I have no idea about this. We are
no,
not,
he doesn't.
not improv here.
Nope. Yeah. Okay, so as you might know, Taylor Swift is coming to Toronto.
I do know that.
Starting Thursday night for 6 shows, a 6-show run in Toronto.
Are you going?
So
you going?
I'm going. I am going.
No way.
But
really?
Yes, we digress. So it's becoming Toronto.
We'll offline about that. Yeah.
And my question to you is, of the Leafs players, who are the most likely to go to a Taylor Swift show in Toronto?
Good question.
Thank you.
Most likely, I would go with Joe Woll.
Wow. Oh, that's a good one.
Well, because he's a piano man. He's a musician. So I think he'd appreciate the musical talents of Miss Taylor Swift, Mrs. Taylor Kelsey, whatever she's going by now.
Okay, we don't go by that yet. No.
Not yet. It's not official. You're right. I would put, Wool in there. I think Max Domi will be there just because between him and Ty, they've got all the connections. So he's probably going to be at one of the shows, even if he doesn't like her music.
Yeah.
And I think you'll see probably Matthews will probably be there because I think they're just like anytime there's like a big event, they tend to be there. Like Austin Matthews is known to be at every UFC event. There's been a couple concerts he's been at, but I would say you're see a whatever it's if they post it on IG. I think Max Domi will be there with Revo because they're boys.
Yep, they are
I
boys.
guarantee you that's boys night out. Revo and Domi at Taylor Swift. I think that's happening.
Yeah,
and then I think Woll might be there, but we might not know about it because no one's really following him around.
No, I think Nyes is though. I do think Nyes does follow Wool around. Have you even?
Oh
seen
yeah,
that
I could
reporting?
see. Yeah, yeah, because they're pretty tight. So I could see maybe the two of them going there.
Yep.
Who would probably be your odds-on favorite to be at one of the shows?
Well, to be honest, I thought you might have said Mitch, like just because he's so Mitch.
I can see him being there.
He loves to get the dancing shoes out. Bit of a Toronto man. His wife seems like a bit of a Swiftie. I don't think that we don't know much about a Matthews girlfriend.
No,
we haven't really met a Domi girlfriend. Like I think she exists.
Yeah, he has one, but
he does have one.
Not a very visible person at this point.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. So who I wouldn't be surprised.
Riley will be there. Riley will be there with
Tessa?
Western. Yeah, I think so.
Who I think will be there is McDavid and his wife, Lauren, because they're coming to town on Saturday, and I imagine that they will be there on the Thursday or Friday.
Her shows are what? Is it Thursday, Friday, Saturday? And then...
Exactly.
And
then
like
a small
Tuesday,
break.
Small break, yeah.
A small break because Travis Kelce plays in Buffalo. The Chiefs play against the Bills on Sunday.
That's
so
right.
I think Taylor will hop down to Buffalo for that, and then I think her shows start up again. Yeah, it's like
when she planned the Toronto leg of her concert.
I think so.
Her promoter was like, "Yeah, we can't do Sunday. Can't do Sunday."
I know.
Travis has a football game.
We can do Tuesday though. Tuesday definitely works, but Sunday is not.
But we're only going to be an hour away, so we're willing to come back if the Rogers Center can be made available.
Yeah.
There isn't
Jays
anything going on there, so
we don't do stadium shows right now. It's friggin' middle of November.
That's crazy. That's gonna be fun.
I know.
I'm not going anywhere near downtown over the next beginning, I guess, on Thursday for the next 4 or 5 days because you're gonna have obviously Swifties from outside of the city for sure, just flooding into the downtown core and just ripping it apart.
Oh, it's gonna be bedlam.
Chaos.
And also,
Chaos.
not to mention just the influx of people, but like the road closures, it's like a sea of red when it comes to Google Maps. It's like closed.
For sure. Yeah, I don't want to be downtown on just a random Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah.
Definitely not planning on making a trip down there this weekend. That's for sure.
No. Well,
So
thank you
it's
for playing
probably
along.
good I sold my Oilers tickets. I'm glad I'm not going to that now.
Honestly, that Saturday night is going to be nuts in the city. Like I've seen Lyft is putting a 50% off promotion on rides. Like that's such a joke because it's going to be surging 250% if you're trying to get a ride anywhere in that area. So
and then like just even if you're taking the TTC, can you imagine that blend of McDavid fans and Taylor Swift? Oh man.
We just need like a UFC fight to happen somewhere else downtown Toronto, and we get that melange of hockey fans, Swift fans, UFC fans. Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
and I know
would be
it's
like
not
the election all over again, just like.
Yeah, crazy. And then I know it's not obviously here, but then we got the Argos and the Grey Cup. Like there is going to be a buzz in the city.
That's this Saturday?
Sunday, isn't it? I think it's Sunday.
No. Oh, maybe the Grey Cup's on Sunday. Okay.
Yeah,
but
Grey Cup's Sunday.
They're trying not to. Grey Cup's on Monday?
Sunday.
Yeah, because they've been trying not to go head to head with the NFL, but I get
it's almost like you're not a CFL fan. I'm starting to pick up on that.
But did you know they have the Jonas Bros performing at halftime? Like, go CFL.
How huge is that, eh?
It's awesome. Good for them.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I agree. Sunday at 6 p.m. Grey Cup.
Thank you.
It seems like they always do pretty good with like getting like halftime performers. I think it was Green Day last year, no? If I recall correctly.
Oh, it was like the Arkell. It was Arkell's a couple years ago, and then it was Shania Twain somewhat recently. I don't know. Was it Green Day?
The Arkells. I think Green Day was either last year or 2 years ago. The Arkells would have been an easy one because that's like Kyle Dubas's band. So he probably hooked that up.
It was Arkells and the Lumineers together. They played in Hamilton because it was Hamilton. The Ticats were in that. I
find a lot of times the best thing about the Grey Cup is the halftime show because the football sucks.
I think that they're trying to court the new generation of fans and doing the Jonas Brothers. Definitely anybody over 50 is going to be like, no, thank you, Kevin. But anybody under 50 is like, come here, Nick. So that's great.
Or you think the CFL is going to find themselves a younger fan base after this weekend?
Yeah, I think it's good, and I think like that's what they need to do.
That's the goal for sure. Hopefully, it works out for them. But I just don't think the CFL has that kind of reach. Like probably most of the Jonas Brothers fans wouldn't even know what channel to find the Grey Cup on, and they probably won't try and find out. But
it's TSN, right? TSN, definitely TSN.
Yeah, probably TSN, maybe CBC, maybe I don't know.
Oh, maybe
but I'll have to watch.
When it comes to like peripheral sports, I go to TSN.
That's
what they're
TSN 5.
Toronto's random sports.
There we got our token CFL fan, Joshua
Green Day
Maloney.
last year. Thank
TSN.
you. Nice. Okay. That's great. Like, Green Day definitely suits the millennials, the Gen Zs, Gen Xs, I mean. But Joe Bros is
we're going after a different crowd here with Joe.
Yeah, that's like core millennial Gen Z. I mean.
Yeah. No, hey, hopefully that makes for a good weekend with Taylor, Leafs, and Oilers and the Grey Cup. Pretty exciting. Stuff
really
going
exciting.
On.
Yeah. Well, we still got to get through tomorrow's game, Josh. That's a big one.
We got to focus on that first and foremost for sure.
Willie goal, I think, is a pretty lock after his dismal berating performances, getting berated tonight. But
like I wouldn't even shy away from a play on the over or maybe like an alt over. Like I could see.
I hate the over. I never play the over. I hate it because I'm losing until I'm winning. I hate losing all night. Right. I like winning all night and then losing at the last 10 minutes. Fine.
Well, you can't ever play the under. That's not fun.
I always play the under. I pretty much every single game I play the under.
Really?
Yeah. And if you look at our stats,
life is too short to play the under.
There's been like 3 games that the under hasn't hit. I've made like probably $500 betting the under.
Really?
Yeah, check out
Because
the
like
stats.
scoring
Yeah.
is I don't know if it's up from last year, but like there's been a lot of high scoring games. So that's that to me is too much of a sweat to pick the under. Like, yeah, maybe
No,
on a 6.5.
the over is a sweat. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, but the
I don't
over, I mean, like if it's a 5.5, like you get basically like a 2-2 game in the second, third period. Like you're laughing because you have the empty net
No.
goal possibility,
I-
you have overtime possibility. So
I don't want to
over.
be ahead and then hope for opponent goals. I don't want to. I just like winning the whole time until I'm not winning, which is just like a very small
No, that's
margin of
fair.
game.
That's fair. I get that. And you got Glare Gaming's on your side. He or she hates the overs as well. Only bet unders during primetime NFL. Yeah, that's pretty much a lock. Like unders, especially Thursday night football. I know you're not a big NFL girl, but yeah, Thursday night football, you don't even have to look who's playing. Just bet the under. Doesn't matter. All those games are always like 35 points.
Yeah. I get that betting on any kind of bet on a game makes you less tied to the results and more, you're dialed into whether it's your fantasy, whether it's your bets. It takes you a little away from the emotional game.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Which, yeah. So, but honestly, the unders are, you go back and you look at the stats, we've missed the under maybe 3 times this whole season.
Oh, are you talking about Leaf games specifically?
Yeah, I'm talking about only Leafs games.
Okay, fair. Sorry, I thought we were talking about like hockey games in general. Always bet the under. You're talking about Leaf games. Yeah, Leaf games. Because Leaf games, I think right now, like
Stolarz, he's 2
I don't
goals
think
against.
Vegas, right? I don't think Vegas is kind of like over adjusted or corrected to this new Leaf team that is not going to be beating teams 6-4 anymore in a shootout type game. So they'll eventually have to adjust, but clearly not in time for tomorrow because 6.5 is the total there.
Tomorrow against Washington?
So you should, 6.5. So you should test your theory.
I'm going right under. One question.
But it's Wall.
I'll ask you offline.
You have no faith. You don't have faith in Wall. I would think you'd be taking the over for sure. Because you already know Nylander.
I told you. I just take unders. I don't touch the over. I hate it.
Yeah, but let's kind of backtrack here, Caroline. You said you got a Nylander goal,
sucks.
an Ovechkin goal. Wall is terrible. Your words exactly. No paraphrasing. That to me screams over.
It does, but I don't think it's going to hit. Like once the Leafs get a lead, they like lock in. And I think you're right. We might come in with a sneaky win tomorrow night. We might get an early Willie goal, like a little Mitch on the power play, maybe.
Okay.
And I think we lock in.
Yeah,
and we're pretty good at getting the first goal, and then we just we play our defensive style of hockey, and games don't open up. Like very rarely are games opening up.
No.
We
sure.
can
That's
look
been
at the
the
stats, but
MO of the team this year. Like just kind of don't take unnecessary chances. And I think obviously when their special teams wasn't doing well, like it was easy because they were never going to be able to get more than 3 goals in a game. Now they can't score 5-on-5, and all they can do is score on the power play. So unless they're getting 8 power plays tomorrow, you're probably looking at no more than 2 or 3 goals from them. And Washington, it can put the puck in the net. So I wouldn't be surprised if they can put in 2 or 3. So
okay, well you take the over, I'll take the under. We'll see how it goes. Yeah,
well, I have to do a little bit more analysis. I haven't. I'm not going to ready to submit my bet yet, but we'll talk tomorrow and we'll see where we're at.
Okay.
All right.
That sounds good.
Think that's a wrap. Think we kind of broke down the game as much as possible and then quickly detoured, recognizing that there's no point to dwell anymore on it.
Didn't need to go into that game. No, I was happy not to.
No, especially after they won 3 in a row before. I'm not going to be no need to overly dissect their sky is falling. That's not what we're here for.
No, we recognize a bad one and we can move on.
So. Yeah, if they lose tomorrow, then the sky is falling. Though.
Break. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Yeah,
you had a last thought there?
I was going to say, especially when Edmonton's on the horizon, we lose tomorrow. It's like, oh God, the sky is really falling. It's going to be 3 in a row. And
well, if they lose tomorrow, I'm putting a mortgage on them beating Edmonton. Mortgage on Edmonton. win.
Okay.
That's just the way this team goes. We said it already a few times.
Absolutely. Nope, you're right. You are right.
All right, folks. Appreciate it. Definitely
you.
leave us a comment, any feedback on our content, any of the videos, what you like, what you don't like, and hopefully you will join us soon. Probably might be doing it again tomorrow night or on the weekend. So definitely come back and tune in, and we will break down the next game. And go Leafs, go!
Go Leafs, go! See you tomorrow.
Have a good one.
Okay, bye.
Oh, Canada.
Put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother.
It means nothing. It means nothing.
Nah, they lying to you. It's about the money.
Now you're more fluent.